Suveter hyvä emäntä nouse, härjä katso maahan viitimä, emännän vilja kun ei tuskiin tulisi.
So we're in Dover, Delaware, which is the nation's first state. And it's a historic area, it's got colonial charm, lots of great trees, lots of old shops, and a couple of ghosts here and there.
We are a witch store in the middle of the Bible Belt of Delaware.
And we're Bell Book and Candle, which is Delaware's largest, oldest metaphysical shop. And really it's a general store. It carries everything for a broad range of spiritual people, from pagans to ceremonial magicians to esoteric Christians to folks that are involved in Santeria. It's the whole deal. And we've been here for a long time, and we're going to be here for a long time. I'm Ivo Dominguez Jr, which is a long mouthful because it really should be Ivo Dominguez Barrueco, but my parents wanted to make it sound more American standard when I got naturalized. I'm an author. I have 2 books published, one that just came out February 1st. I am also the elder of a Wiccan tradition. I have worked as the executive director for Delaware's largest AIDS service organization. I've done database design, web design. I've worked as a Spanish translator. I've done a lot of things, but my heart's always been involved in metaphysical matters, and the shop was a way to continue where I was going.
Ivo, it's funny. I have a funny story about Ivo. Before he owned the store, he was a bit of a kind of a hermit. I mean, he lived in Georgetown. He very rarely came up to Dover, and he had this kind of mystique about him, you know. And people would come into our store, and they would say, "Well, you know, I trained with Ivo." You know, and so when I finally met Ivo for the first time, I expected him to like be in long flowing robes and have light around him and be following with cherubs playing violin. You know, I didn't know what to expect, and here comes this like normal looking guy with a bald head and a beard and a blue jeans and a t-shirt. He's like, "Hi, I'm Ivo," and I'm like, "You're so normal."
I'm Jim Welch, and I'm one of the owners of the store. I'm 60 years old. I'm still working, so this is my part-time job, as I work here usually on Saturdays, sometimes on evenings, or when I'm off from my other job. Ivo, he's my lover, 33 years. We've been together, and we bought the shop about 5 or 6 years ago, enjoying the shop. And as you see, we don't wear the witches' hats. We don't do things like that. We're very normal. Ivo and I look more like old men who are like the Smith brothers and that type of thing, rather than pagans or witches that you'd find in other places.
Jim is very, very sweet. He's very intuitive, I believe. He's the kind of guy who, when you walk in and you're having a terrible, terrible day, but you plaster on a smile and you think no one will know, Jim will walk up and just give you a hug, and you're like, oh, because you know that he knows. Yeah.
My name is Darleen Aragon, and I'm currently the manager at Bell Book and Candle. I've been here since the store was 3 months old. It opened in March 15th, the Ides of March in 2001. And come this Ides of March, we'll be starting our 12th anniversary. I've been here since the store was 3 months old. I'm currently a matriarch of the family. I have 3 generations of witches, and my granddaughter, who has 2 children and about to have a 3rd, is raising her children in a very open manner. I work with some of the most wonderful people. The owners happen to be in the same tradition that I'm in. Ivo is the elder of our tradition, and Jim is a high priest in one of our covens, and I am a high priestess in one of the covens. They've been here for about 7 years, I think, and I know that I'm important to the store because I was a bargaining chip when the store was sold. They sold the store for $1. The rest was getting me to work here.
I think I would never have bought the store if Darleen wasn't part of the package deal, because she is the world's best mom. She's actually a great grandmom, but if someone needs sound advice, if somebody needs love, If somebody needs a stern wrap across the wrist with a ruler, she's there for it.
And Darleen is, I don't know. Darleen is the wildest grandma I've ever met in my life. Yeah. Yeah, she's fabulous. She's an absolutely fabulous person. Ivo, Jim, and Darleen are all three very old friends, so they feel like family.
Helen is one of our readers that you see a lot of in the store.
She's fun in an odd way because the way she reads cards is cool and different than many other readers.
My name is Helen Downing. I am a resident card reader. I read tarot cards. I actually started the store with a business partner 11 years ago, and then we sold it 5 years later to Ivo and Jim.
I kind of like the idea that it's possible for the old owners and the new owners to get along, and in fact, enjoy each other's evolutions of how the store has changed. She's also really psychic and really filled with pop culture, which are both things that I really appreciate.
I am a card reader. However, I make it very, very clear to everyone that comes in that I am not a fortune teller. I am not going to go in a trance. I am not going to talk about, the man whose name begins with an R. I'm not going to do that. I am not going to tell you that you have a curse on you, or that I'll say a special prayer for you for an additional $50 or whatever. I talk about current conditions, possible outcomes, always talk about choices. Anybody who tells you that you don't have a choice on how to live your life is trying to sell you something.
Any kind of retail shop is interesting, but when it's a metaphysical shop, it attracts the best and the craziest. Some of the most beautiful, creative, intense people walk through the door that are looking for books or herbs or crystals to pursue what they're about, but we also get people that walk in the door that are stark, raving loony.
I've met many interesting people. There's always some that stand out more than the others. Probably one of my favorite was the salt lamp lady. A lady came in, she said, "My salt lamp has disappeared. Something magical is going on." I said, "Okay." She goes, "It just disappeared." I said, "Well, where did you have it?" She goes, "It's not where I put it." I said, "But where did you put it?" She goes, "It's gone." I said, "Where did you put the salt lamp?" "Well, I put it in my dishwasher." I remained very calm. I remained very quiet and said, "Your salt lamp is now in another universe. It's one with the universe of water." And she didn't understand that. So.
I work on Saturdays, so we have customers that come in that aren't here during the week. I love it when people come in. One person came in and was saying that their east and west altars had moved, and I asked them if they had looked at a compass to see where their east and west altars were, and they said no, and they came back the next Saturday and said, that's because I hadn't looked at the compass and they were in opposite places.
We're 2 doors down from a mental health center, by the way, so we get a lot of people that walk by the store, feel the wonderful energy, and kind of wander into the store.
And this is a fringe kind of a place, and we do get fringy people, but the main characters, as you would say, they're, we're all professionals, we're all real people, we all have real lives, and I just think that's valuable. I think people will be able to relate to us on some level, even if they're watching us to see how freaky our religion or our spirituality or our faith is, they'll be able to relate to us too.
I just can't see why you wouldn't have us, because we are freaking awesome. I mean, how many women do you know at 67 years old walk around with pink hair and a tattoo on their head? the rest of us are just as awesome as I am.
We are a de facto community center. We're a de facto temple. There are very few locations that are brick and mortar, real space locations like ours. We have staff that is actually interested in the material. We're as much advisors as we are retailers. We are the core for organizing things like the Pagan Pride Festival in Delaware.
It's just an event where we have vendors, we have workshops, we have entertainment that just kind of like, we invite the community in so that they can see that, you know, it's just nothing to be afraid of. It's normal people having fun, you know, and doing things maybe a little differently, but just trying to invite people into these workshops to see, you know, if they're interested in what, you know, what really goes on maybe, you know. But it also is for the pagan community, you know, to get together, you know, be able to meet other pagan people, and just, you know, learn more from each other. Because not everybody practices the same way.
We're about to have a witches' ball in May. We bring in authors, teachers, performers, musicians. So in some ways it's a cultural center for the pagan community here. So in a lot of ways we are more than just a shop. We have a constant flow of interesting stuff and we care about it. And honestly, I don't think you can buy sincerity, and that's what we have to offer.
When we opened the store, we knew that the bathroom would be open to the public, and we thought, people might write on our walls. So we decided to leave colored Sharpies in here and invite them to write on the walls. And of course, we painted over several times. Ivo and Jim have painted over several times. We do have some things that we will never cover, like this over here, which was actually written on September 11th, about 2 hours after the second tower fell. And it was interesting. We had only been open a few months when that happened, and we were all just kind of sitting here listening to the radio, watching it on a little television, and people just started wandering into the store. And they weren't here to shop, they were just here to sit with each other and be together, and that's when we realized that this is actually a spiritual place, and people are going to come here for a lot of reasons. They're not just going to come here to shop.